Good morning, Century League. This is Nico, your owner, GM, and head coach of the Detroit Lions. And oh, was it a season for the Detroit Lions? Let's not get into that. But hey, I'm here. I'm going to bring you your final week review of the Century League, brought to you by the Truck Reviews in the Dodge Ram. Again, not a sponsor, but in the Dodge Ram, I'm going to bring you guys the truck highlights. So we're going to start off with this, but at the end, I'm going to give you guys a little opinion on what I have about the league going to a 20-man league and how I feel about it. But we'll wait for that later. Let's break it down. The final week. This is it. It's all done. So we're going to start off with the teams that were defending their top 8 spots. Here we go. So the first team that was defending its top 8 spot was Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears finished 7th this year. Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, let me say it right. They finished 7th. They were having the Denver Broncos come to their house, who finished 9th this year. At 6-7, the Denver Broncos. Chicago Bear was at 7-6. This was a close one. This was a super close one. The actual score ended at Denver Broncos 93.0 to the Chicago Bears 94.20. That's right, Chicago. Chicago Bears, you brought that one home. You brought that one home. You defended that top 8 spot. That's what I'm talking about. You made our division look good. And here's the thing. You made our division look good, and none of us made our division look good this week at all in the finals. The Giants or the Lions or the Pack. So, good job. That was awesome. Let's get into your actual game. We had the Denver Broncos, highest scoring player here. Actually, Lindsey from Denver was our highest scoring player, 19.80. They were led by Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson only got him 10.96 points. Again, this was a pretty close one. Brown from Baltimore only scoring 1.60. That hurt the Denver Broncos a lot, especially when they're traveling to Chicago. It's a cold place in Chicago to play. But we have our Chicago Bears pulling this one off, represent our division in a good way. 94.20. Prescott only got 11.30. But then when you go down here, tight end Gajitsky, I can't pronounce the name correctly, scored 26.20. And McLaren at 15.60. That's really what pushed it over the edge. If you look at their actual lineups and what the team scored, their quarterbacks didn't really do so good. Their number one receivers, not number one receivers actually, but their first guy starting in the line didn't do so good for the Chicago Bears. Scott did pretty terrible, 7.90. Amari Cooper, only scored 6.40. Again, I know I screwed it up. I said Cooper Kupp last time. My bad. It was a work party. I was a little tipsy, and I was still drinking when I got home. I messed it up. Amari Cooper only scored 6.40. So, not really a good week for the stars of each team, but you had McLaurin still pulling it off and the tight end pulling it off for Rob. So, Rob gets that win. Rob, you defend your top 8 spot. You earned it, man. You had a great season this year, dude. Seriously, you had a really good season, and you were in a really messed up division. Excuse me. Our division was hard, and you pulled it off. So good for you, man. Good job defending the top 8 spot, making us look good in our league. Let's go to our next game. Our next game, we're going to have the Oakland Raiders at 5-8. Again, 5-8 is a record that doesn't really describe Oakland's team this year, but that's what they finished. 5-8, they were traveling to the New York Giants, who were at 7-6. That game actually ended with the Oakland Raiders scoring 111.58. And our New York Giants falling at 109. This was a close one too. I mean, Bash, I know you tried. Trust me, man, I know you tried. You set them good. Unfortunately, it just, a 2-point game it's pretty hard to take that loss. That's a choking loss right there. But let's look at it right here. We had the quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. Didn't really perform too good. Locke at 12.68. I thought he was going to have a good week too. I was wrong. Terribly wrong on that. But we had Marlon Mack. I said he was going to get about 35 last week. He didn't, but he did get 18.10, which is still really good. You got Boyd from Cincinnati. Lit it up. 33.80. Coming in, crushing it. 9 receptions, 128 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Killed it. He could be a keeper. Greg Olsen didn't perform anything. And then you had Jones from Atlanta, 26.60. And some you see from Jones a lot. No touchdowns, but a lot of yards. And that's what happens. So that was actually really good. And that's what kind of tipped the scales here. I really think it was those 2 players that tipped the scales. 3-2 with Marlon Mack. But it really tips the scales for Oakland. The Giants, Deshaun Watson, man, performed terribly. Terribly. Trust me, I had him in one of my other leagues, and it wasn't good news. Only getting 9.06. Ezekiel Elliott, again, an up and down year this year. Hasn't really been doing a lot. Only 15.40. You have Michael Thomas, though. Michael Thomas kicked it in high gear, scoring you 31.60 bash. That's your top receiver. That's a keeper next year. That's the guy you're keeping. And the rest of the team, Landry with only 14. I mean, it was terrible. But again, even though you had a lot of his guys performing lower or beneath their expectations, he still only lost by 2 points. New York Giants. New York Football Giants. Sorry. You lost this one. You didn't defend your top 8 spot. Oakland, congratulations, man. I think this season, your team deserved a lot more. Your team was a lot better than a 5-8 record. I was keeping track of them. I like that team a lot. I like the team you have. I like the New York Giants team too, but definitely a win that I could have seen you pulling off, and you pulled it off. Let's go. That's our top 8 guys, so we know those are the defending their top 8 spots. We're gonna move up here. We're gonna go to the 5th and 6th game, which was going to be Cleveland Browns at 6-7. They finished 10th this year, traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. Connor, what's going on, man? What is going on? You should have won it this year. You should have took it all. They were traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs, who finished first at 11-2. The score was 92.66 for Cleveland. Good job, Cleveland. And Kansas City Chiefs at 89.20. So when we're breaking down the matchups here, we're going to see the Cleveland Browns with Brissett, 15.66. Nick Chubb's, Eeks, 4.50. That was really bad. But you have Odell Beckham at 14.40. And listen, I know it's only 44 yards and a touchdown, but Odell Beckham's one of those guys that Odell Beckham is one of those guys that's been having an up and down year. So it is what it is. But then you have Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake. That boy, he is bad. That boy is bad. He's bad. And I think, David Johnson, who? David Johnson, who? Kenyon Drake. Dude, Kenyon Drake is a monster running back. He got stuck in Miami. He's a monster running back. That's Cleveland. That's your keeper right there. But you had Kenyon Drake performing at 33.40. He had 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good, man. And again, Kenyon Drake, since he's got to Arizona, he's been doing the thing. He's a bad boy. Now, you did have your defense, Dallas, finish with -1, but again, having your flex player, Kenyon Drake, going off for 33 points, that was pretty good. Now we move on to Kansas City. Kansas City. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, Connor. But 11 points for Jason Witten. Bell only scores 13.30. I really thought, this is my fault too, I really thought Bell was going to overachieve. Going back to Pittsburgh? What are you doing, Bell? I don't even think he's that good of a running back anymore. Bell's off my list of even if somebody you should keep. He's off my list. I wouldn't even keep him. Maybe because I want to pick him up too, though. Or maybe, draft him next year. But you shouldn't keep him at all. Then you have, for Kansas City, you have Davante Adams. I like Davante Adams. I hate Green Bay, but I love Davante Adams. 22.60. It still wasn't enough. You had Kittle go off for 18.90. That still wasn't enough. That 33.40 from Drake kind of pushed it over for Cleveland. So we see Cleveland winning the 5th and 6th championship. So Cleveland will finish. Yes, Cleveland will be the finish 5th. So they won that game. Cleveland, congratulations, man. You guys earned it. You put it on there. You set them up. You did have some underperformance, but you still set up a good lineup. And I'm looking at your bench. I mean, you could have, even if you started Gardner Minshew, it wouldn't have mattered because your starter, Brissett, scored more. So it really doesn't matter. Good game. Kansas City, you give me a Peyton Manning feel here. You're choking in the playoffs. I like you, Connor. I think you can do better next year. I'm going to be rooting for you next year, man. All right? No, I'm not. Not really. I won't be rooting for you, but I think you can do better. All right, so let's move on to our, and this is embarrassing. Excuse you one second. This is embarrassing. This was my game. Yep, this was my game. This was for 3rd place. We have the Detroit Lions. Finished 8th this year. Traveling to the Seattle Seahawks, who finished 2nd this year. Detroit came in with a record at 7-6. Losing last week to the Green Bay Packers. Spygate. I don't say this. People say that there's some Spygate stuff going on with the commissioner. I don't say this. People say this. I don't want to make any accusations. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying. Should have won that game. But Seattle Seahawks at 9-4 at 2nd place. So Seattle put a whooping. And when I mean whooping, I mean they put a whooping on me. Literally. I mean, they put such a bad whooping on it. I mean, that's the kind of whooping you got to get out of the league. You should quit. They put a whooping on me. I mean, a bad whooping. I scored 76.46 to Seattle Seahawks 156.82. Good job, Seattle. Again, I can see how you came in 2nd. Like, I get it. You're a good team. Very good team. Let's break down the matchups real quick. Me, I had Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz didn't do so bad. I had 18 point... Sorry about that, guys. I had 18.96, 319 yards and a touchdown. That's all you can expect right now from Carson Wentz. I had Mixon, 9.30. It really hurt me really bad. Eckler, way underperforming, 11.90. I had a goose egg. I'm not even gonna get into that. I had a goose egg on my team, a big fat 0. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. I looked at my bench. I didn't have anybody I could have put in that would have done anything, so really didn't matter that much. Then I had Smith, the tight end that was replacing Ingram, pretty sure, in New York. Football Giants. He did great. 21.50. That's nice. That's a really nice play. But nowhere near was I even going to compete with Seattle. Let's move over to Seattle. Lamar Jackson, 29.82. I think he underperformed. I get it. 238 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great. I think Lamar Jackson should have got way more than that. Then you have Saquon Barkley. Lit it up. 43.90. 44 points. Lit it up. Just lit it up. I mean, Saquon Barkley pretty much got half the points that I had. You know what I'm saying? Like, over half the points. I'm sorry, I scored 76. So you got over the half the points that my whole team got. Cole Beasley at 17.80. Really good play. I don't know if I said that last week, but that was a really good play. Kenny Galladay, 18.60, blowing it out of the water. This is just a Seattle, good job. I know your defense finished with 1 point. Crosby, 10 points. That was really good. Really, really, really good job on Seattle Seahawks, man. You did it. You lined them up. We lost. You took out another one. We had Chicago from our division win. Giants lost. And Detroit lost. Good job. I can't say anything about it. Can't wait to see you next year in the league. You got some guys on this team that, if we're doing 3 keepers, your team could be pretty dangerous. Your team could get pushed up to that number 1. You could take out Connor. So, that's it for that matchup. Again, congratulations to Seattle on that one. And now for the game we've all been waiting for. Century League 2019 to 2020 season. We have the finals. We had the Houston Oilers coming in at 5th place at 8-5. Traveling to Green Bay, who came in at 3rd this year, won our division. Hats off to you, Commish. Again, could be some Spygate things going on with you. I don't know. I don't say this. They say this. It goes around the league. You could be spying on people, and that's why you beat me. I'm not bitter that you beat me. I'm not bitter at all. I'm glad somebody from our division made it to the finals. I just think it should have been me. I would have got blown out anyways. It doesn't matter. But so the Houston Oilers were traveling to the Green Bay Packers. That's our commissioner's team, which was 8-5, too. Exact same records. Unfortunately, the commissioner lost, and we crowned our first ever champion of the Century League. I really like this league, you guys. It's really fun, so I'm excited about it next year. But our first ever champion is going to be the Houston Oilers, finishing at 146 points, .14. And our Green Bay Packers, which will get 2nd place, Deuce. Maybe that Spygate stuff wasn't working that good for you in this game. Our commissioner, his Green Bay Packers, which finished at 114.96. So 115 points, whatever, 60 points. But really good game. Wasn't really that close. Oilers, congratulations, man. You deserve it. Good job. I cannot wait to beat you next year. That's going to happen. Let's break down your guys' players real quick. Houston Oilers, Andy Dalton ripping it off for 4 touchdowns and almost 400 yards. And if it's not just me, I watched a little bit of that game. It should be 400 yards because there was a pass that Andy Dalton got called back, and it was holding on the offensive line. I could be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure I was watching that happened. So really, you should have 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Andy Dalton lit it up. Lit it up. Good job, Andy Dalton. Then you had McCaffrey. Lit it up too. 32.30. Killed it. Crushed it. Good job. Kareem Hunt, who I thought was a bad play. I told you that. He was a bad play. He only got 7.30. Didn't like that play. Hooper at 15.20. And Andrews from Baltimore at 27.30. Dude, that's it. I mean, that's it. Your 1, 2, 3, 4. Your top 5 guys performed. They killed it. They didn't perform, they killed it, actually. Excuse me one moment, folks. Gotta wet my whistle. I don't know why, but it's really cold here in Michigan. And I keep getting, not sore throats, but just kind of like a dry throat. And it makes me cough a lot. And I don't know, my allergies are kicking in too, and it really, really sucks really bad. But anyways, so you had the Houston Oilers perform best game. Good game. Congratulations. You deserve this win. You're the first champion of our league. I know you'll be back next year. And you have some guys that are really, really solid keepers on this team. It's going to be hard for you to see which 3 you're going to break it down to. I'm pretty sure I know who you are going to break it down to, but it's going to be hard for you. Commissioner. Commish, what are you doing? What are you doing? We need you to pull this one off. Out of all the 4 games we were in, we lost all of them except for Chicago Bears 1-1 from our division. We really underperformed. And listen, I'm guilty of it. I got blown out. I mean, I don't know if that's the biggest blowout this year, but I think it's the biggest blowout. I'm coming back with a vengeance next year against Arizona and Seattle Seahawks. I'm coming for your heads. But again, that's next year. We'll talk about that next year. But we had Drew Brees. Pretty good game. 3 touchdowns. Almost 300 yards. He had 279, whatever. Almost 300 yards. 26.86 points. That's a solid game from Drew Brees. It's a solid game. That's a good game. Aaron Jones. Hey, Aaron Jones lit it up, you guys. 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a fumble. I didn't know about the fumble, actually. Didn't watch that game. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't see the fumble there. But I heard it was a good game. I was at work tonight. I got 2 days off, so I didn't get to watch Monday Night Football at all. So, again, the commissioner's starting off good here. This is his first 2 guys. But then you have Gallup, 14.80. Not bad. 98 yards, 5 receptions. Robinson from Chicago, 11.30. And we see it start falling off here for the commish. And this is why he probably loses this game. Also because, the top 2 guys on Houston scored 60-something points by themselves. But we have Walker from Oakland, 7.7. And Brown from Tennessee at 15.30. Baltimore's defense didn't really do anything at 5 points. And your kicker got you 10. If we look at your bench, commish, yeah, could have switched that tight end spot over, but it still would have been a loss. It wouldn't have mattered. Still would have been a loss for you. Again, you guys are the 2 best teams in our league. Congratulations to, first of all, that breaks out the review, the highlights. It's over. Good job, Houston. But congratulations to everybody. I think this league was fun. We all performed. I enjoyed constantly getting alerts on my messages from you guys saying stuff and trading and all this kind of things. It was really cool. I enjoyed the league. Out of all the leagues that I'm in this year, I joined 9 fantasy football leagues. I'm only going to stay in 4 of them. One is going to be my dynasty. The other is going to be this league right here. And then I'm going to keep in my buddy's league. And there's one other league that I'm in that's kind of similar to this league. I'm even canceling out my paid league and everything like that. I'm just keeping 4 leagues, and that's it. So I really enjoyed it, you guys. I really enjoyed getting to know not all you guys, but most of you guys. And again, I was telling everybody, I gave out a challenge last time. Make a little video, a little short video. Introduce yourself to us. Let us know who you are, man. Just talk about anything. It really doesn't matter, okay? So now, real quick, before we end this, if you don't want to hear my opinion on the 20-team thing, you can just stop the video right now. Or if you did want to hear it, but you don't want to see the highlights, you fast forward it. So the commissioner put out an idea of making this league a 20-man league. I played in one 20-man league the whole time I've been doing fantasy football. It wasn't a keeper league. It wasn't a dynasty league. It was a redraft league every year. We had it for 4 years, but we wanted to switch to a dynasty, and we literally just converted it to a dynasty league on Sleeper because we couldn't do it. We had it on Yahoo, and you can't do dynasty on Yahoo. Again, it was a fun league. What I'm trying to get at is it was a really fun league. 4 years we had it. Then we converted it into a dynasty league on Sleeper, and we're still all together. It's pretty cool. We cut some people out. It's not 20 on Sleeper. It's 16 because some of the guys were in the paid league. It was weird how it mixed up. But when we did have the 20-man league, it was a small roster. It was only 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a defense. But it was pretty fun. I get, listen, more teams does make it kind of fun. It's harder. You have to look for players more. Your bench matters 10 times more. And I think our bench in this league matters a lot. But your bench matters a lot more too. So it is funner. I like the 20-man league thing. But I like the group of people we have. Especially the ones that I've met. Ron and Bash and the commissioner, Amber, Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't remember your name. Don't get upset, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got love for Pittsburgh. Most of the guys we met and we talked to, I kind of like them. A lot. I think you guys are cool group of people to play with. So my opinion is I would like to change into a 20-man league. But I wouldn't do it if it means we're going to lose some guys. I kind of want to keep the guys we have. I like this group of people that we have. I think it's a really good group of people, and I think we're in the league. We can make it last. Also, I wouldn't want to redraft. And I think from what the commissioner was trying to explain, it wouldn't be a redraft. We would give up one of our top, like 20 players or something like that, and then we would do our draft as normal. Whoever won their draft picks and the final rounds or whatever, the bottom rounds, would still get those. And basically, we just give them one of our top 20 players. I like that idea better. I don't like a redraft idea. I know Chicago, you guys were talking about maybe put a redraft in it. I don't think that's fair. I think, especially for a lot of teams, especially teams on the lower tier end, like, Baltimore or Arizona, Cardinals, on the lower tier end, who I'm going to crush next year, and Seattle, who I'm going to crush next year. I think we're looking at guys we want to keep. Even me, we're looking at guys we want to keep. That way we can help our team next year. So I think doing a redraft wouldn't be fair. And I don't think the commissioner wants to do a redraft. I think he wants to do it in the other way of, let's give up one of our top 20 players, all of us, and we can go from there. And we can just do our draft, keep who you're going to keep, and let's work it out. I'm for it. But again, I'm for it only on the basis if we're all going to stay together. All 16 of us are going to stay. I think we need to talk about it and think about it a little bit more. But I think it'd be a fun idea, you guys. 20-team leagues. Again, I only played in one. And now the Dynasty League we're in, we kind of, even though we cut it to 16, now we feel like we made a mistake in my other league. We're like, yeah, we probably should have kept it 20 people because it was a lot funner and it's a lot harder. And you have a better chance of winning because the rosters are small and you can't always start like top here guys. You're not going to get two guys in your team that are going to score in the 30 points. Okay? It's just not going to happen that often. So I say a yes, 100% for the 20-man league. Let me know what you guys think about it. Write in what you guys really think about it. We've only had a few people chime in. Not everybody's chimed in. I know people voted, but not everybody's chimed in. And I think we still need some more voters. So please, if you haven't voted yet, go vote. Like, you're going to be in this league next year. I heard everybody's coming back. If everybody's coming back, dude, go vote. Let's see what's going on. Like, what's the actual consensus? And I think it's 6 to something. I forgot what the actual vote was so far. I voted yes personally, right? But again, I want us to be the same group of people. I think it's fun with these group of people that we have. Maybe we need to talk a little more trash to each other because we didn't talk a lot of trash this year. In most of my fantasy football leagues, we talk a lot of trash. But we can start that up. So, besides that, that's my opinion on it. I love all you guys. Merry Christmas. 3:44 a.m. right now, so I'm going to go to bed here in a minute. But Merry Christmas to all you guys and your families. Much love. I hope you guys get whatever you guys wish for and dream for. Hope your families are safe. God bless everybody. And I want you to remember the most important thing. I'm not going to say this again until next year. There's three most important things in life. A, it's going to be your faith, whatever it is. B, it's going to be your family. Make sure you protect them and you stay safe with them. And 3, C, actually, it's going to be fantasy football. Stay safe, you guys, this holiday. Much love from my family to all your guys' family. And I love you guys. I'm out.